Welcome to Cool Talk. Today we have Julian that's going to be joining us, and he's going to be sharing some information about the things that he has done over the past few years and his journey to physical fitness. And I'm so glad to have him with me because I've learned so much from him in the past few years that has helped me in my journey on my journey with health. Julian, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
I know it's a little unusual because of the places that we have to meet today because of the little situation.
The whole
that's
pandemic
going
and everything that's going on, yeah.
on. Yeah. So this is nature field. But anyway, can you please tell us a little about what you do and what led you on the path to what you're doing right now?
Well, currently I'm a wellness coach. I started out as a personal trainer, but once I got into personal training, I found out that, health and wellness is far more than just lifting weights and running and stuff like that. And it has to do with how healthy your mind is, how healthy your surroundings are. So health and fitness is far more than just, like I said, running and lifting weights and stuff like that. It's everything that you take into your body. And that's just not nutrition, but it has to do with stuff like what you read and what you see and what you watch also. That's all a part of wellness. And especially during this pandemic now that we're going through, a big thing that I try to push on not really necessarily push on my clients, but suggest to my clients is that, you don't want to be so focused on, your fitness. You go in the stores now, there's no weight equipment left because people bought it out because they're so focused on, I have to stay fit, I have to do this for fitness, but really you're just stretching yourself out.
Yes,
So the added stress is going to add on to the stress of probably you losing your job or whatever you're going through right now with this pandemic, not being able to get out. So stress, everybody knows there's nothing good comes from stress.
Okay. In fact, when you're talking about stress, it's a known fact or estimated fact that 80% of hospital visits are due to
Stress related.
Stress related.
Yeah, because with stress, you can raise your blood pressure. You also, there's a chemical called cortisol that goes throughout the body, and that's why people hold on to body fat. It's a stress hormone that triggers that. And when some people, I have a lot of the clients, the majority of the people that come to the gym, they would like to lose weight, but they live in a stressful environment. So it doesn't matter how clean your plate is. Well, it matters somewhat how clean your plate is. That can help eternally. But if your stress levels are high, you won't get the results as quick as you want. And they won't be sustainable as long as you continue to live in that stressful environment. Over the past couple of years, I've really become a minimalist. With my apartment, I noticed I just had too much stuff around me, and where there's clutter, there's no peace. True. And if you have a cluttered surrounding, you have a cluttered mind, and with a cluttered mind comes stress, and when stress comes body fat, with body fat comes a disease. So it's just like a continuing cycle. But our society that we live in is all about commercials. All commercials do is tell you what you don't have.
That's right.
Whether it's food or anything, like come buy this, and that's what we're big on consuming. So me being a wellness coach is, bringing awareness to people that you should create more. You create the peace that you want, create the body that you want instead of consuming things and trying to get that. So there's a big difference with that. So
what are your thoughts about the mental aspect of beginning a healthy regimen?
Well, every action starts with a thought. And I truly believe that anybody can manifest anything that they want as long as they truly believe it. So if you put these things, I'm a spiritual person. I pray to the Most High, but whatever you believe in, if you put that out in the atmosphere, it's going to come back to you in the way that you want it to come back to you if you truly believe it. With health and wellness, start with your mind first, and not necessarily your physical body, because everything else flows from there. But the other way around is not very sustainable, because if your mind is not right, or if you're not thinking positive about yourself, you're always going to look at yourself in a negative manner.
Yeah,
no matter how many abs you got, how low your body fat percentage, you're always going to think there's something wrong with you because you never fixed the real issue. There's always an underlying issue with that.
Yeah, because you have to start somewhere. When you talk about physical fitness, we have to start somewhere. And that's one of the things that you find that a lot of people don't know how to do. Where do I start? How do I how do I change some of the things that I'm doing to get the results that I would like to have?
I was telling somebody earlier, if you want to change the world, change your world first. And that means starts with everything internally, then externally it will happen. It's not the other way around. So anybody starting out completely new with fitness, I know I have an athletic background. You know, I grew up playing a ton of different sports. You know, I stayed in sports, so that's all I ever knew before I got into personal training. But there's a lot of people out there, you know, being in this field I met that's never done any activity their entire life. So I'm like, and that was a shock to me. So I had to learn how to coach somebody up like they're a child.
Yeah.
And actually, children can teach us a lot about our bodies as well. But you know, you have to start with the basics first. Don't try to do too much. I know it's easy to see, you know, like celebrities and stuff changing their body and stuff for movie roles, like, oh, that's cool and stuff like that. But, you know, a lot of them do a lot of different things that they shouldn't be doing to their body because it's not sustainable. What my goal for anybody that I meet is to do what's sustainable for them. Because what's sustainable for me, it might not be the same for you or anybody else. So we have to find your why first. Why do you want this?
Okay.
You know, why do you want to lose weight? And I'm not afraid to ask the tough questions. Because we have to find, it's just like psychology. You have to get the underlying reason why. You have to clear that out first before you can improve. Because if you just try to improve without clearing that, it's always going to be in the back of your head and you're always going to go back to where you were.
Yeah. But I believe another thing is to make those changes very slowly.
Yeah.
Because sometimes if you go too fast, you get discouraged, and that makes a big difference too. Because when you're discouraged, you tend to just quit and give up and don't follow through with what you're doing. So, what do you think about that? Slowly.
Yes. The slower, I believe, the better. And for a lot of people, it depends on your background again. Some people can just completely change their life overnight, and but others will need to taper off. It depends on, you know, how bad your lifestyle was before that. And what are the addictions that you have? It's not just drug addiction. You know, cheese is the most addictive drug in the world.
Cheese?
Cheese and sugar and white sugar is just as addictive as cocaine, I think. You can Google that too. I think that might be. I forgot where I read it, but I think I read it on Google. So do your due diligence and read that. But yeah, cheese is just as addictive. So like with anything, it just depends on where you're coming from. An athlete that's been ordered their whole life and used to putting their body through that physical stress can make the changes quicker than somebody that hasn't done anything before. So yeah, start out slow and do something that you enjoy. Yeah.
You know, one of the things that I've learned how to do because of the age that I am is listening to my own wisdom concerning my body.
Yeah.
Because I'm a little older now, I can't do the things that I used to do. You know, I used to get out there and just do some things, but now the body is talking to me and I have to listen, respond to that. And the wisdom of that, just knowing that, you know, I want to be mobile, I want to be healthy, and, you know, I just want to have a lifestyle that, you know, that I can do things with my family, with my children, my grandchildren.
Yeah.
And I know that comes from having to listen to the body as well as.
Yeah, your body's always talking to you. It speaks to us every day. Everything that we put into our body speaks to our body on a cellular level, but we don't understand that language until it comes out. And it's going to come out in fatigue, it's going to come out in inflammation, or it can be the other way around where it comes out in a positive mood. You feel more at peace, you feel less stress. So, you know, be more focused on what you put into your body and the response that you get from that. Because not everybody's going to respond the same. There's no one method that's going to fix everything. So it's going to be different for everybody. But be intentful on what you want to put into your body and what you want it to do to your body, because it's going to come out in some form. And unfortunately for a lot of Americans, it's a very high inflammatory diet, which causes a lot of other things like disease and fatigue. So majority of people I meet, they just want to know, you know, how do I get more energy? I just always feel so drained and stuff like that, because, you know, they rely on a ton of stimulants and all the, like, sugar is a stimulant, caffeine is a stimulant, and that's why Starbucks is so prominent, because you got both sugar and caffeine all up in their drinks, along with dairy and stuff like that. And because these things are drugs. These are chemical drugs. And,
so what you're saying is how we treat our body, the healthy and unhealthy ways, is how we're going to possibly determine the response that we're going to get. Yeah.
Everything that we do, every action has a reaction. Everything that we do, everything that we think is going to come out in some form. So guard your mind, really, and continue to speak good on yourself and positive on yourself, because everything else flows from there.
Okay.
So with health and fitness, anybody that comes to me, you know, what regimen should I do? Start with meditation. Start thinking positive about yourself. Go through a practice every day that's going to uplift you from the inside out. And stick with that. If you can't stick with that, then you won't stick with the weight loss.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
So you'll
whatever
give
the
us some good information today. How can, if someone wants to find out more information about the things that you're talking about, how can we follow you and give us an idea of how we can do that?
Well, I'm on Instagram. My wellness page on Instagram is infinite8_love, and I can tag it at the end of this video also. And with that, you can just shoot me a DM or just make a comment on the video if you want to learn a little bit more about, you know, just wellness in general. Again, I'm not your normal personal trainer. I'm just not gonna, you know, write out a workout plan for you. I'm gonna write out a life plan for you. So it's gonna be more than just, you know, running and lifting weights. So I'm gonna ask you, what are you reading? What are you gonna do? What are you doing now to, you know, enrich your mind and your spirit at the same time? Are you getting enough sleep? You know, are you on too many stimulants? You know, have you told someone you love them today? When's the last time you gave somebody a hug or received a hug or smiled at somebody? You know, these are the type of things I think are far more worth more than changing your body. Changing your mind is far more effective than that, because you can further on and help somebody else. It's a domino effect with it.
Yeah. Well, thank you, because there's some natural ways that you can help with stress and anxiety as well. One of the things that I've learned about is, you know, chamomile tea, rosemary. Do simple things like relax, walking, gardening, so you don't really have to stress your body out. But it's always nice to have someone to help you along the way. And you have helped me, so that's one of the things that we like to share, the things that has helped us. And maybe these things that we're doing, we're sharing with you through these segments, is something that will be able to help you. Jay, we thank you.
Thank you.
And as always, we thank you guys for tuning in. Peace, shalom, and blessings to you all. Until
Stay
next
well.
time. I'm not sure if you noticed these little bottles of water that I had in front of me as I was interviewing Julian, but this is merely just lavender and water. You could Google to find out more information on how to use how to use lavender water and how to make it. And hopefully this is something that can be beneficial to you. I'm hearing people are having great response, especially when it comes to inflammation. So again, thank you for tuning in to Kuwl Talk. Until next time, shalom and blessings.